Hello traders, in today's video we're going to be going over Cryptoquant, a website that has some pretty cool data that I think will help you in your trades. Let's dive. Hey traders, let's dive in. First, I did release what I thought was a funny meme video over this weekend, making fun of Zeus Capital and their whole chain link operation. If you want to go watch that, you can. But, you know, I know people are used to me posting very, very serious things, like educational serious. That was just kind of a fun project. So I kind of went off my rocker on that one. But you can go check that out if you want a good laugh. But what's not a good laugh, what is probably a lot more helpful, is this site, Cryptoquant. What I found really cool about this site, guys, is this. So many cool things in this, but the first of all is this. What this does that no other site that I know really accurately does this well is it estimates the amount of leverage that traders on BitMEX and Binance futures are using. This is useful because let's say that we get a very, very high amount of leverage. Well, that tells me two things. One, likely high volatility because a lot of people are over leveraged. Two, probably more likely the price is going to trend. Why do I say that? Well, typically when there's a fair amount of leverage, that means that there's a lot of over leveraged traders who might be trapped. And the beautiful thing about this, or kind of sick thing about this, is when the average leverage, this orange line, just tanks, that typically means that the over leveraged traders are dead, meaning that the trend reverses. So I'm going to show you guys what I mean. Remember that typically when the leverage ratio is very, very small, that typically leads to reversal. When it's very, very high, typically is going to lead to a strong trend, or it's going to lead to high volatility. So we can see it kind of here. I know my camera's kind of obscuring some of it, but leverage was increasing as probably losing traders were adding to their positions on BitMEX, right? And then what do we see here? Look how this orange line goes down as the black line rises, black line being price. What happened, guys, was that we got to this point of this price top where leverage was just tanking. The amount of leverage used was just tanking and price was increasing. And this was a sign of reversal. Then another reversal that occurred was after this price drop, we see, a massive drop in leverage from about average of, 27x? Down to like 25x. So a pretty substantial drop in the amount of leverage. And that confirmed the reversal at this bottom here. And you can kind of also see this pattern just all over the place. A pretty good one here is look what happened when price broke out beyond the highs. When price breaks out beyond the highs, average leverage just skyrockets, telling me that there are a lot of over leveraged traders whose liquidity hasn't been tapped yet, i.e. the trend will probably continue, and two, that high volatility is likely to ensue. And it did. We had a lot of high volatility August 5th to August 6th. We went from 11,520 up to like what, 12K? Or 11,900 around there. And if you had bought BVOL tokens or if you had traded move contracts and went long on move contracts, this would have been a good time to do it because of the high amount of volatility. Another pretty cool one is this one here. I really like this example a lot. I'll show you guys why. We can see a highly volatile move, but watch what happened to average leverage. The estimated leverage actually dropped like a tank. This is a sign of a reversal. This was a sign to me that the price is not going to continue any higher anytime soon. Look at this. Do you see the difference between that move up with a drop in estimated leverage versus that move up with an increase in estimated leverage? With one of them, this was probably traders probably adding to their positions, and here those traders who are on the wrong side probably all got liquidated or stopped out, right? And then we had the more level-headed, lower leverage traders still in. So this is a great confirmation signal that I think is very helpful in a medium-term basis. And you can just see that all over here. Yes, this doesn't work all the time. And a good example of that is here. We can see the estimated leverage just skyrockets up to here, and it gets so high that we pretty much know that high volatility is probably going to ensue. But instead of continuing to increase, price dumped, as you can see here on August 10th. And then leverage drops too, which is probably a sign of reversal. But here, I mean, at this point, if you had just went long on volatility, bought BVOL or bought a move contract, you would have been paid pretty nicely. Had you exited before expiration, or maybe even exiting at expiration, you'd be in profit probably. And that's probably the main way that I would want to use this personally, is to use it such that I would be using it for volatility, not exactly for confirming a trend or reversal. Let's go look at the Binance one, because we were just looking at the BitMEX estimated leverage. Let's go look at Binance futures. Is there anything different we see? Pretty much the same pattern. Yeah, pretty similar patterns. Much more clean for some reason, though. Much more clean. Yeah, so here we can actually see that estimated leverage increases from about, 12% up to about 12.6. But on BitMEX, it dropped. So it looks like here, yeah, okay, this is interesting. But just look just how much leverage fell here. We had a pretty massive drop in the amount of leverage, telling me that a lot of people probably got stopped out here, telling me that that's probably a reversal. All right, so if I was to pinpoint one time here, not even looking at price, but what would be the best time to go long on volatility, such as buy BVol or by buying move contracts? Around here is a wonderful time to be buying any kind of volatility. Here and here, buying volatility here is great. Buying volatility here is the best possible thing here. And had you bought volatility, what that means is that you profit as long as the market is volatile enough and moves enough. If it doesn't move enough, then you lose money. So let's go. I mean, we already kind of know what happened here, but you can see that if you had bought volatility anywhere around like at here that I indicated after we see this estimated leverage skyrocket, right there at about 11,160, I mean, that's when price increased a few $100s, 11,430. So if you had bought a move contract, let's say it's at a price of 150, this $300 price move could have increased that move contract by like 350 or like 400 even, because if there's still time before expiration, netting you maybe like $300-400 per contract. Even when you didn't even bet on which way price would probably go, it could have gone down. But because you were long on volatility, you got paid anyway. And then also here as well would have been a very good time for it. Let's say you get a move contract at 11,550, and then we see this kind of thing happen. I mean, if you bought a move contract here, the best time to actually have cashed out would probably be here. Because, yeah, you profit from this move, but then this move is just beauty. So basically what I'm saying is I love this indicator for tagging when volatility will likely be high, because it makes buying move contracts and selling move contracts a much easier decision. Like when to short a move contract would have been here. The estimated leverage is at 10%. Not that many traders are over leveraged here. Not too much craziness is probably going to happen. And look, price just doesn't do anything. Right? Price doesn't do anything until we begin to see estimated leverage increase. So had you shorted volatility really anywhere around here, August 4th at about midnight UTC, that whole time, August 4th to like August 5th, like 10 UTC, you have just all that low volatility where daily move contract would have expired, or you would have seen, you could have just shorted volatility and then bought back volatility lower. So really cool tool. I'm really a big fan of it. And let's move on. I know I devoted a lot of time to that, but that's the most important indicator that I found here. I know you guys will probably disagree with other ones here, but I love that one. Another one is their their Telegram is very simple and clean. I really like it. So something that they posted here is, hey, I got an alert today. Unusual exchange inflows of a 32.7 million BTC added at 11:14. Now at 11:14 on my time, which I am Central currently, let me go to Central. 11:14 my time was right before the dump. Not like right before at a perfect time, but around lows. So right about here, I got alerted right there. I got alerted that $32.7 million worth of BTC was just added to an exchange, which is typically a very bearish sign. And look at that. And price fell 2%. So I found that this is actually quite helpful too, and I can link this as well. Lots of useful indicators and strategy that it gives you, and it also even gives you warning when, hey, price is likely to dump. Hey, price is likely to pull back. Hey, price is likely to go moon. And look at this. be careful. Downside risk from whale dumping. And the whale did dump. And that's what just dropped price a few $100. So that's another one that I would highly recommend to get their Telegram. So you can, I will attach that below. So they have just a bunch of cool stuff. I mean, they had open interest there, as you can see, Binance open interest and stuff. But there's really a bit of something for everyone here. I mean, I'll just hover through a few of these, but you can look at this as I talk through this video. You can pull up the link in my description. But there is just a lot of stuff, you know, and I love looking at a lot of data. Fees in USD, difficulty, block reward, block count, block bytes. What was the one that I really wanted? Oh, exchange flows, yeah. So if you're more of a trader, and I know a lot of people like this, of looking at spot to derivatives exchanges or wallet to spot, then I can show you guys that too. Yeah, so derivative exchange outflow mean, Binance inflows, and if we go a little bit sooner. So if this gets very, very high, that would mean that a dump might happen. And if this gets very, very low, then that would mean that probably price is going to rise. Because when a lot of Bitcoin is flowing into Binance, that's a sign that they're trying to sell, typically. As you can see right there, right before that dump. And spot exchanges outflow mean, you can see just how much, oh my gosh, look at that. Just how much outflow it had there. BitMEX inflows, if you want to track exactly how much money is going into any exchange really you want, this can allow you to do it. Coinbase inflows. And yeah, so far my favorite is that volatility indicator with looking at estimated leverage, but you can use whatever kind of indicator that you would like. With that, I recommend you go check out the site, check out my courses if you want to go look at that, and check out the kind of stupid little meme thing that I did over the weekend. It's in my video section